Ladies and gentlemen, yes, welcome to the Josh Guillory Show. We are broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Also broadcasting live on Rumble, rumble.com. Big Tib, you win, baby. Good afternoon to you. Let me see you over there at Rumble, man. We have so much to talk about today. I love seeing your chats over there. You can catch us on all the socials, on my personal X page at Josh Guillory USA. And shout out to our KLFY Plus viewing audience. This segment brought to you by my great American patriot friend, Keith Kishbaugh, Kishbaugh Construction. Certainly appreciate you guys. Man, it's soccer. It is not football. We got football. It's soccer. We're hosting the FIFA thing, so World Cup. We call it soccer. I didn't make that up. I would have called it football. I'm kidding.
Mela, with the amount of corruption they have in that organization, they must be hosting it in Minnesota.
Hey, don't say that too loud. I wouldn't be shocked if Feed Our Future was in FIFA. So let's go here. So, and let's talk about, because what we're really going to dive into is the latest round of, let's see, international pearl clutching. Can we say that? Is that fair?
That's definitely fair.
All right, so former FIFA president Sepp Blatter, you may recall Mr. Blatter. He was the guy who resigned under a cloud of corruption, as Q was saying. Well, don't worry, he still has a voice, and there are still platforms that are going to cover it. Well, he's now calling for a boycott. Oh, no, not a boycott, Mr. Blatter. He's calling for a boycott of the World Cup in the United States because he doesn't like Donald Trump or America's immigration enforcement. He says fans should stay home, watch on TV, and worry they'll be put on a plane if they don't please officials if they go. That's what he said. That's what he said. This guy, and he was in charge of FIFA, you said?
I think so.
Let me translate this pearl clutcher's lingo into plain English. A disgraced global soccer bureaucrat is upset that the United States still acts like a sovereign country. There you go. That's pretty good summary. And honestly, this whole thing tells us a lot. Let's dive into it. It really does. You can unpack this. We could spend a whole show on that. So first, let's get the credibility check kind of out the way. All right? Because I think that's important. FIFA is not exactly the Vatican when it comes to moral authority. This is an organization that turned corruption into a doggone business model. Look at the bribes. Look at the secret deals. Suitcases of cash. And now suddenly these same people are worried about values and fairness. Now that is rich. Second, let's talk about the actual complaint. They're mad that the United States enforces its borders. They're mad because we screen folks, that we have visas, and we take public order, seriously. That's the complaint. That's it. Think about that. Yeah, I'm with question 8. I'm at the pool. I don't care what other countries think. Or states, really. Hey, we might get into that too, question 8. And, hey, what a great combination, the pool and the Josh Guillory Show. I'm so honored. I hope I'll enhance the experience and not bring the experience down. Q will have to pick me up. But if you really think about the complaint, that's it. That's the crime to FIFA, that we're enforcing the laws that have been on the books for quite some time, that Democrats have enforced. I mean, his buddy, President Obama, the porter in chief. Just saying. Didn't we find out about the cages after his term?
Yep.
Golly. But, Mr. FIFA man, we are not Europe. We don't pretend borders are optional, at least not now, not right now. Hopefully that stays the same, no matter who the president is. But we Americans collectively, not all, but collectively believe that. And we don't look the other way when things turn violent. And we don't apologize for running our country like a sovereign country. And we never should apologize for that. And neither should your home country, wherever you identify with. Figure we could do that. I mean, I'm sure he goes with the identify thing, you know? So, I mean, how easy. Q, I said I wouldn't get fired up, but I'm going to get fired up a little bit. How easy the world forgets. How easy the world forgets. The United States does more for this globe than any of the people lecturing us combined. We fund global security. We carry NATO. We provide how much humanitarian aid? We police sea lanes. We respond to disasters. We underwrite the international order that lets these doggone people fly around the world, drink their wine, and complain about America on social media. It's like we're living in the Twilight Zone. No, that'll be the budget discussion we're going to have. But man, look, I think most people probably sharing this. When it comes to sports, okay? Especially in America, we're not begging for approval, and we're sure as heck not begging for your personal approval. Go check your own closet. The World Cup is coming here to the United States for a reason. We won a bid, a competitive bid, and we won the bid for a reason, because the infrastructure's here, because the stadiums are here, because the security is here, and guess what, FIFA? The money is here. And that tournament will be packed, no matter what this gentleman says. Hotels will be full here in America. Cities will be buzzing. The idea, and they'll be clean for a moment. Anywho, but yeah, all that's going to be going on, man. The idea, I'm going to use President Biden's for the idea that America is going to miss a beat because a few little international elites threaten a little boycott. It's kind of laughable. And I even had to ask myself, why are we going to cover this? And I was thinking, we're covering it because other people are covering it. And I think the fact that they're covering this dude is a story in of itself. That's laughable. What do you know about this gentleman? Y'all hang out?
Only thing I know about him is he got thrown out of his gig for some type of corruption, and I didn't remember his name. When I saw the former guy, I was like, oh, the corrupt one.
So it's kind of like the picture, like whenever you know what I mean, you associate word association. Oh, got it. That guy. Yeah. The guy that actually did illegal. Okay, got it. Cool. But hey, look, he's calling for all this. I mean, it's falling on deaf ears. And if some fans choose not to come because they don't like our politics, fine. That is their right. No one is stopping them. No one is stopping them. And please put your ticket online soon, because you'll benefit. You get some little unless you take it soon. See, it's a market. It's a market. They won't know what I'm talking about.
That's true.
You know what I mean? They'll need the government to tell them.
And set the price.
Absolutely. Maybe the FIFA man can do that too. Just look past those suitcases. Nothing to see there. I mean, man, look. Spare us the drama too. Like, spare us the drama in your delivery, okay? I mean, this is not state-enforced segregated South Africa. This is not some authoritarian state, man. This is a country. We are a country that enforces our laws and expects visitors to follow them. You don't have to come. It's easy. And if you're here in America, you already know you don't have to go, but you bought the ticket. And here's my thing. we can relate, us conservatives. We can relate. Remember the NFL knee thing? Remember the whole other stuff? Every time a person wants to use their platforms for going all lefty, you can feel however you want to feel. But I ain't letting that clown ruin my fun. And if I'd stopped listening to songs, or if I stopped watching football, or if I stopped doing fun things because someone in the crowd said something that I don't like, well, then I wouldn't do anything. I kind of I really don't only do a few things. So I'm not that exciting. Don't take away my few excitements. My plants and football. We're going to take a little break on that note. If you got a green thumb, go to rumble.com. Give me some tips, man. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. We'll continue this topic and so much more. And also the new location in Broussard. You can't go wrong with Préjean's, seafood, salad, steak, Cajun cuisine, and much more. Go visit my friends over there at Préjean's.
Are you tired of dealing with overflowing roll-off dumpsters and smelly garbage? Well, say goodbye to the hassle and hello to a cleaner, greener solution with Smash My Trash. Imagine reducing your trash volume by up to 70% in just minutes. With Smash My Trash's revolutionary compacting technology, they crush the waste, so you don't have to. No matter the waste, their expert team will smash it down, saving you time, money, and space. Call 888-99-SMASH or online at smashmytrash.com.
It all comes down to this, folks. Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. Their max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast!
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That fun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
The more you listen to your kids, the closer you'll be. So we ask kids, what do you want your parents to hear?
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
This is kind of hard.
Adults, so just be there and listen.
Here's my thoughts on
I just want someone to yap.
This dude's pushing like this down. Okay, this dude's pushing. What's up, Ron, with YouTube, all of our folks? This FIFA guy, he's up here pushing all this moral baloney. You know, like, here's the thing. I know it's going to sound crazy. I could understand if he called for a boycott on global warming. It would be silly, and no one should listen to it. But I could see objectively, I could see, like, okay, he's arguing that people flying there is contributing. Or he's arguing that going there supports a country that doesn't support the Green New Deal type stuff, and it's hurting people. Okay, you're full of it, but if you give them the benefit of the doubt and you take that what they're saying is genuine to them, they're convicted in their values, I can understand where you're coming from. I disagree with it, and I think it's silly, and I don't think anybody should pay attention to it. I don't understand this one at all. What they're upset with is the United States enforcing democratically created immigration laws. How many countries in the world have immigration laws? How many members of FIFA? I hope I remember all this when we come back. I'm going to try to remember this so I could say it again. We'll see, but you got it. Oh, I'm breaking. Okay, we're going back into the segment. Be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Go check us out at rumble.com, man. We got that chat going on. I like it. Rumble.com, look up the Josh Guillory Show. We certainly appreciate you. You can go to my X page as well, at Josh Guillory USA. This segment brought to you by my friends over there at SeaSafe, S-E-A, just like the ocean. SeaSafe.com, American company manufacturing right here in our backyard in Acadiana. SeaSafe. So, let's go back to FIFA. You know, FIFA. Who gets to decide? FIFA. So this, the former president, chairman, whatever he is, the head of FIFA, he's not happy. You know, but look, we were talking in the break and Rumble and on TikTok and all the things. This will sound crazy coming from me, probably. But here's the deal. I could kind of understand. Like, this dude, let's just understand. Like, I can understand. I don't agree with it. I think it's absolutely bizarre, okay? But I can understand if this dude was like, hey, I don't like America or Trump because they're not for the Green New Deal stuff. Okay, we would all laugh him out of the room and it would be silly. But I can at least connect the dots. The person would have a convicted belief that we just disagree on, and he's tying it to what he really believes to be harmful to people, even though he's living in one of the moons of Saturn, okay? But coming back down to reality, this cat, he's calling for a boycott. Like, let's put this in perspective. This guy is calling for a boycott because the country, the United States, is enforcing democratically created laws, okay, that have been on the books for how long and how many administrations? I bet you we've hosted the FIFA before. I bet you FIFA World Cup, I bet you some of those same laws were in effect then and that they are now. And I don't know this, but if they were in play during the Obama era and you didn't say anything then you were definitely full of it. Because as we know, no drama. Obama had no problem putting some folks in cages and deporting people, and we got to enforce the law. I'm just saying. Poor Elian Gonzalez. That poor boy. I looked him up after we covered. He's part of the Communist Party. Everybody is. They have no choice. I doubt the folks from Cuba really are. They're probably, once they see the difference.
Well, I know they basically made him a poster child when he got back.
Oh, that's right. The dad and Fidel Castro. That's right. They were all like, we stand up to Maracay. Whew, all right. Good. Man, I met some good people from Cuba, by the way. I'm serious. We have a decent sized population from here in or in Lafayette at least, and I got to hang out with them when I was in office. Really, I love the cultures. Love it. That's why I know the people naturally want to do what they want to do, and that's freedom. So they really, it's not a hard sell. I mean, some of the greatest Americans you know will be an immigrant, lawful immigrant. I'm serious. They're so grateful and so appreciative of the things that we have. And no one's to blame. I mean, we grow up, we're fortunate to grow up and not have to even know that comparison. But, it's all relative. But back to this FIFA thing. This guy's just arguing and upset because we're enforcing laws that we the people, not you. It ain't we the FIFA. It ain't we the government. It's we the people. And let's address the immigration angle directly since they want to go there. Hey, bud, if you qualify for a visa, like I said, come on down. If you don't, you can't. And he's upset about that. How is that cruel? That is not cruel. That's normal. Every country represented in the world does basically the same thing. Many do it, by the way, far more aggressively than the United States. Just saying. They don't get the lectures. And they don't get the lectures because one reason. They're not the United States. And I'll give the media, mass media, not everybody, I'll give you some subtext. I'm a team player. I am such a team player. A lot of international institutions got used to an America that apologized for itself. Say it again. A lot of these international folks, institutions, even countries, they all got used to us acting weak and apologizing for being us. And that era is over, at least on pause. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know who will be the president next, and we don't know what they're going to do. There's been 45 people that have occupied the seat. Trump doesn't play that game, and he's occupying the seat. And that's fantastic. And hopefully it sets such good momentum that we're actually, in a bipartisan way, again, enforcing immigration. Just enforce the law. If you don't like the law, change the law. But you can't just ignore enforcing the law. That is how you get lawlessness. It is literally lawlessness if you don't abide by the law. And if the government doesn't enforce the laws, then why do you have laws? If you don't enforce them, you have none. But at least Trump doesn't soften the language to make bureaucrats in Zurich feel better. I like that. And it kind of drives them nuts, and I get that because they're used to one way. But the World Cup is going to go on. The matches will be played. The fans, sorry, Mr. FIFA man, but they're going to come. America's going to host the world, just like we always do, on our terms, under our laws, with confidence instead of guilt, just like everybody else that hosts the FIFA World Cup. Nobody else. And you want to wait, hold on. In the break, let's get a list of the last FIFA World Cups. Let's just see where they've been. Let's just see where they've been. I want to make sure. Maybe I'm being too harsh on Mr. FIFA man. Perhaps he didn't miss some of the humanitarian crisis and neglect to basic human rights in some of these other countries. Maybe he didn't miss that. I don't know. But hey, fine though. Stay home if you want. Watch on TV if you want. We will be just fine. All right, and we're going to be way better here in a little bit. Phone lines are open, 232-1542, 844-766-6607, and I can't wait. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Hey, this segment brought to you by my friends over there at Stan's Auto. Man, check them out. Sterling and crew, I'll be there next week. Hey, so look, all right, so the last FIFA guy, Quentin's looking up when he served, okay, because I want to see if it overlaps with one of these. He's over there preaching to us, okay? He's preaching to us because of our democratically created laws that we want to enforce, just like every other country. All right? Now, first of all, the FIFA World Cup is being held and hosted by the United States, yes, but also Canada and Mexico. And Q is saying that it's an economic boondoggle. Is that what you called it? Yeah.
Exact quote.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, come on now. So, all right. So, Canada, USA, and Mexico. Well, we won't pick on the Canadians. I don't have anything against them. I don't have anything against Mexicans either. But Mexico, I do. So you want to preach to us. Let's get this straight, international pearl-clutching elite. Head of FIFA. Former FIFA. Good. Fly on your planes. Help save the planet. Anywho, you want to preach to us about our immigration policies? While you have Mexico, who has the drug cartels at their disposal, who is killing kids left and right in their country, in our country, and probably his country because of the fentanyl operation that's going on. And more. What about the drug trafficking? What about the human trafficking? Sex trafficking? You want me to keep going on? The drug cartels weren't enough, FIFA? Oh, but you're not going to condemn Mexico. So they're in the process, Mexico, the government's in there in the cahoots sending fentanyl to kill people, and we want to enforce our immigration policies so that people don't die needlessly. But yet you want to lecture us. Well, this guy served from 1998 to 2015, the former FIFA man that's telling everybody to stay home from the United States FIFA hosting event, whatever it is. So Qatar was in 2022. Qatar gave us a plane. We'll give him a pass. Such a joke. Such a joke. But I'm looking at 2018. It was held and hosted by Russia. Now, we looked and didn't see any clips from this FIFA elite condemning the atrocities in Russia. Why didn't you boycott that? Well, you weren't in office. You could have said so. You could have threw a bone for the people that's sitting in jail that has not even had a hearing. You could have give them a voice. They actually have a name and a cause. You're throwing bows and shooting arrows in a dark night. You have no purpose except to get cool talking points with your elite, wine drinking, cheese smelling inner circles at FIFA land, in the magical land of FIFA. They really probably do have unicorns there. Let's keep going, though. 2014, Brazil. Yeah, nothing to see here. South Africa, 2010. Yeah. And that's on your watch, 1998 to 2015. We just talked about the government-sanctioned segregated policies. Nothing to say there? Nothing? You didn't want to... They're just enforcing their laws, too. But you didn't have to... No? Oh, you're silent. I get it. Okay. All right. The other one's not too bad. Germany, Japan, South Korea, France. Yeah. See, he did decent on those. But you're going to sit here. But see, I could go so many ways with that, but we're going to move on. We're going to move on. Phone lines are wide open. 232-1542, 844-766-6607. You can be like my friends over here on hold. Who we going to first? Buck. What's up, Buck?
Hey guys, hey Josh, you hit the nail on the head when you said, we're a country of laws, because there's nothing different between here and the other countries that everybody's running from. there's nothing on the ground, there's nothing in the air that's different. It's the laws that we operate within a side of our border which make us the country that we are. And if these other countries would just operate underneath our laws and something like our Constitution, then their people would be better off and they wouldn't have to come and cross our border illegally. You know, to say that, I think they don't want us to enforce the border because they would have to change the way their country operates to solve the real problem. So we're a country of laws, and that's what makes the United States what it is, plain and simple.
Well said, Buck. I'm high-fiving you, man. High-fiving you, baby. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Let's go to Sean. Sean, what's up, brother? Hard call to follow.
Oh, yeah, this is a real hard call. Let me tell you one thing that's real hard to follow. Okay, so have you looked at the prices of tickets to get? I'm 4 hours away from Houston, and I can't afford a ticket. My kid's been playing since he's 4 years old.
Wow.
How does Mbappe, that comes from a third-world country, lives in a mud hut, come over here, airfare, pay for a ticket, and a week stay to watch a team, filling up a $60,000 people stadium from a third-world country? That's my problem. I don't care about human rights. That's somebody else's deal. I want to see some soccer.
Man, look, Sean, these are two solid calls, man. Thanks, Sean. Sean, how many dads are out there saying exactly what you are saying? How many moms are out there saying exactly what you are saying? That you could probably say the same. I don't know if the Olympics you could say the same, but definitely FIFA. Yeah, man, that was a good point. Okay, let's go to two really good points, and let's talk about a little silliness here. I'm just saying we have to because we have to work through this together, you see. We can do this. We can all get our hip boots out. We can all get our P-rows, our paddles, you know. If you don't have a paddle, just get a gumbo boiling pot like stir, you know, you can do that. Because we're going to get through this together. All right, let's talk about a little shutdown silliness. So, Senate Majority Leader John Thune, well, he says whether the government shuts down this weekend now hinges on talks between the White House and Democrats. Oh, okay. I know it's hard when you cross the border. Seriously, when you cross the border from reality to the land of Oz. And math is hard in that bubble sometimes. I get it. Actually, I don't get it, but I'll recognize that you're in a disability from the rest of us. But can you at least count one more than the other side? Because the last time I checked, we Republicans have the House and the Senate and the presidency. So I'm curious, why is it between the Democrats and the White House? Why? What leader says, other guys, come on in and please go talk to the party who's in charge. My party is in the White House, and we don't even want to go talk. We want you to go talk. Are they from Baton Rouge?
Could be.
I mean, did they, like, what? Jeez. We're talking about, okay. So John Thune, he says it hinges on White House and Democrats. So let's get past that part, okay? Republicans failing to govern right now, which is mind-boggling, especially on this. But let's get past that, and let's just go to the actual shutdown, because your reaction may reasonably be, wait, shutdown? Again? And if that is your response, I have to pause, and I have to congratulate you, because you are a functioning adult. I mean, we're talking about a 6-bill funding package. All right, so 6 things in it, 6 bills altogether. Defense, labor, education, transportation, homeland security, one other one I'm losing here. No, I got it. There you go. And so basically the basics of running the federal government is what I just rattled off. I mean, stuff that should not feel exotic or dramatic. Yet here we are. Days from a deadline, with everyone acting surprised that the deadlines exist. It is kind of silly if you think about it. So anyway, we'll take a little break. We'll keep the phone lines open, and maybe we'll dive into this a little bit more. I think we have the majority, right, Quentin?
Allegedly.
I think we do. More R's than D's. Okay, just checking. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. What's up, Rumble, TikTok, YouTube, X, Facebook, all the places, except KPEL and KLFY Plus that we know of, unless you have that button pressed. I'm just kidding. All right, guys. Hey, yeah, good job, Brandon. Good job. Says he'd work planning his campaign strategy for his next run at school board for District 9. There you go. There you go, boy. Hey, man, you can't make a difference unless you run.
That's true.
And you know what I mean? You can't, and like, no matter what, if you get in the arena, win or lose, I'm not forecasting, but really, win or lose, if you think about it, you've done your part. If you really do your best.
Yeah, because, I mean, you can move the Overton window of what's being talked about.
Yep.
What the issues are.
I know firsthand.
And, there's a lot of impact just in running.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of self-sacrifice, too.
Yep.
And people pour a lot into campaigns, a lot of door knocking, a lot of phone calls, a lot of handshakes.
I love door knocking.
It's my favorite thing, actually.
It was my favorite thing. Because you never know, like, oh, well, is this person going to really want me to knock on their door? But I got to tell you, it was South Louisiana. It's pretty welcoming. At first when I started knocking on doors during the campaign, I would pack all the water and all these snacks and stuff, for our volunteers and me and all these folks, We never used them because every house we went into, they had either water or food. Yeah. And so I would just tell the volunteers, guys, we're going to live off the locals.
It's true.
I mean, and some of that was the best. And when I ran, I made very little promises. Very few, because if you make one, you got to stick to it, okay? Now, if you get new facts, that changes things. But fortunately, I don't think that happened with me. Maybe one, but I explained it. Now, but if you do that, you can fulfill them. But, man, most of my promises came from a door knocking. It wasn't even at events or anything. So I'm just saying the ideas are with we the people. Thank you. We'll be right back. The KPEL Studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. We're also broadcasting live on Rumble, rumble.com. Go check us out, The Josh Guillory Show. Man, let me tell y'all about my friends over there at C-Safe, SCA, just like the ocean. When strength matters, when custom matters, when failure's not an option, call my friends at C-Safe. You can also visit them online, csafe.com. Man, C-Safe FRP products are engineered to resist corrosion, reduce maintenance, and outlast the competition in the harshest environments. From offshore platforms to wastewater treatment plants and everywhere in between, call my people at C-Safe. Their products, we love this, American made, and they're manufactured right here in Acadiana by American workers. C-Safe, check them out. csafe.com, SEA. just like the ocean. Now, going back in to this minibus or whatever these little cute little words are, these little foreign words. I got a foreign word for these people in Washington. Budget. Budget. We all have to do it. Jeez. All right, so right now we're talking about a 6-bill funding package, not a budget, 6-bill funding package. We got to avoid the government shutdown. None of this is really exotic, but it is, basics. You got to do this. But here we are. We're acting surprised that there's a deadline when we've been saying the deadline. Even in the last deadline, we said we're going to have to be doing this in a few weeks. Well, why don't y'all just fix the problem? All right, so here's where we're at. Democrats on Capitol Hill, well, they're demanding that DHS be ripped out of the package. Take out Homeland Security. Yeah, that's a winner. Go sell that to your voters. I'm just saying, that's a pretty big bill right there. All right, so Democrats are demanding DHS get out of the bill. Republicans say, no, we are not splitting the bill. It's all or nothing. And it should end right there. Republicans should send the bill. They should vote on it. They should go through budget reconciliation and pass it. You do not need the 60 votes. All right. Thune says, though, the White House is open to negotiations, but not to blowing up the structure of the package. Well, you have the majority. You have the majority. Chuck Schumer knows how to use a majority. He says Democrats are ready to fund 96%. That's how he said it, too. 96% of the government if Republicans just hand them the one department they want to overhaul. That's it. Just a tiny department, 4%. Yeah, right. I mean, it might be 4%. And this is where I think it is important for us to back up a little bit, kind of take a hot air balloon. Let's get really high, zoom out here. Because the real story isn't even about ICE. It's not even about body cameras or DHS or training funds. The real story is that Washington is completely addicted to governing like this. That's the problem. That's the problem. Omnibus bill, minibus bill, now 6 bill packages, crisis deadlines, manufactured brinkmanship, nobody passing real budgets on time or passing a budget at all, nobody owning the debt, nobody explaining to voters where the money is actually going. Every single year, it's the same movie with a different title, and now they're getting real cute. Republicans talk about fiscal responsibility when we're out of power. And that's the only time I hear these Capitol Hill bureaucrats, because that's all you are now. You're not even a politician. I don't know which one's worse right now. But my goodness, I'm very much a Republican. Q, most of our audience, we understand fiscal responsibility. And really, it's not hard. It's not. It is, and it gets easier the higher level you go up. It's so hard. It's where the budget that hits the people the most is your local budget. Making cuts there? Yeah. Hard. But they're easy too. It's simple. Just do it. And just like not do it. Just do it. It's not easy. It's not hard. But we, Republicans, we are big on fiscal responsibility when we're in the minority. Democrats, they just talk about compassion when they're out of power. Because when they're in power, you get nothing of that. Then they switch roles, switch the talking points, but they keep spending like nothing matters. We borrow money we don't have. We send billions of dollars that we work hard for overseas. We stack pork into bills no one has time to read. And then we act shocked when voters tune out, when Americans get apathy. And really, when we start to think the whole place is a scam, that is not healthy. It's not good ingredients for a healthy relationship. We need counseling. We need new people. And we need term limits. And we need the Supreme Court to overturn their precedent on line item veto. Because even a Democrat president, because you can't say Republican. We're in power right now. You see us balancing the budget? We're sending Democrats to go negotiate with the White House, and we're in charge. How many times did you see Nancy Pelosi send Republicans to go negotiate with Barack Obama? How many times do you see Schumer over there saying, hey, let's go, let me see what the Republicans think? You might as well call him Leader Schumer. We don't have a president on the Senate. We have a Democrat leader with a majority of Republicans. It's wild. Wild. Everybody knows what a majority means, except the Republicans in Washington. Collectively. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. Hour number 2, and I can't wait. I'm ready to point. Here's how I know. It's easy. I'm saving this for us offline here. I ain't God's gift to government, and Lord knows I made my share of mistakes. But one thing I did was balance the damn budget and shrunk government. And that's how we were able to afford all the drainage infrastructure and the roads that we paved. And that is why our economy was roaring when we got out of office, because we got government the hell out of the way and we shrunk it. So if we could do that on that level, which is so much harder, and you know what? It gets even harder for the Youngsville mayor and the Scott mayor and the mid-city size mayor. They have it harder than I had it. The governor has it easier than I had it. The president has it easier than the governor has it. It for whatever reason, it gets easier as you go up, which makes it mind-boggling. Well, it's not mind-boggling. I am starting to believe that people are influenced. It took me being in office, running for office, getting beat by the machine. I get it, all right? Maybe now, maybe it took me longer than most. I don't know. But I'm starting to see how much BS goes into it. And in this environment, how hard is it to get good people to run? Who in the hell would want to run for Lafayette mayor president against a Blanco right now? So that they can lie about you, so they can file false things against you, so they can get a media on you, and they can harass your spouse at her job and that kind of stuff. They can go to your house. Who would want to run for that against that mafia? Hopefully someone does.
That's for sure.
Because it ain't me. It ain't me. It ain't me. But someone else can. Lord. Maybe one of you can. Question 8. I'm sorry. I've been every time I see your comments, I want to go give you a shout out. Aw, you made my day. Question 8. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hey man, we had good people. Good people. I was just blessed to be there. Woo! All right. So man, that hour flew by.
It really did.
Gosh, I got so much more to say on this, but I guess we got to move on. So what do y'all think, guys? We can stay on this if you want. No, I don't know, man. I think we might need to. But see, I get all excited. Not excited. I get all fired up on the national debt stuff because I know how easy it is, man. You just do it one budget cycle. Just rip the Band-Aid off. I know people are going to get upset. You take care of them, too. Trump had a plan on the, I call it furlough, but whatever it is, they can, severance package. Yeah, he approved. It
was amazing, by the way.
Yes, and everybody wins.
Yes.
Because you don't want to just screw over the person that bought into the system, literally paid into the retirement system and stuff like that. But for the sake of the country, take a hit now so that we can balance our budget. Otherwise, we're going to keep taking that hit every year. It don't go away. And then it grows because of the long-term mandated fiscal obligations you have through the retirement systems. It's a synergistic effect that is way, way much in the the wrong way, synergistic in a bad way.
I know where we can find $1 trillion.
Oh, my gosh. I know where we can find 1.1 trillion. No, 2.1 trillion.
2.1.
Yeah, you shortcutting poor Jody.
So that's
Joni.
So that's 3. We got $3 trillion.
Wait, where'd you get the other trillion?
Well, first we have to balance the budget and pay down our debt because 25% of our yearly budget, $1 trillion, is spent on paying the interest, not the principal, the interest.
That's sad.
It's insane. Like, how did it get this bad?
That's so sad. That's horrible.
I was blown away when I read that.
I forgot what it was when I first ran. What was the national debt? It was ridiculous then, but it was before our debt to income or our debt to GDP got at 100%. And I remember reading on all this stuff, talking about what the dangers are of getting at 100% debt to GDP. It's like debt to income. If you go get a loan at the bank, they're going to look at your debt to income. Mm-hmm. And look, I just wish someone would tell us if there's a plan. When I was in office, I asked Senator Cassie at Ed. That's before I was trying to give him it was before the impeachment vote. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, but I asked him to explain it. Like, why don't we just pay off the debt? He gave me this long, and at the time I was so new. I was like, it sounded like he thinks he knows, but I couldn't understand any of that crap. So it was just like circles. I had to go take a water break.
It was like one of those times when they have a lot of words, but
yes,
they said them. You just can't really connect. Did they have meaning?
and is it the meaning that most of us would attach to the words?
Exactly.
Because remember, collectively, these guys you got to have pity on them. They have a disability. When they cross the border, something happens. Hey, can y'all believe this though? I had to read this article again. Did you ever think a Senate Republican leader would tell us when we have the House, the Senate, and the presidency that it's up to the Democrats in the White House? That I was not on him getting out. He needs to go. All right, Quentin has to do traffic. I'll be quiet. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our number 2 of the Josh Guillory Show. I remain your very, very grateful host, and in studio with me still, Q Money Magic Man. What's up, Q?
Oh, just enjoying this lovely weather.
You are so right. You are so right. And guys, we're broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. We are also broadcasting live on Rumble, and I want to see you over there. We got that chat going. Question 8, I'm feeling you. I'm feeling Joe Biden's lost memory. You made it back. I like it. Hadn't heard from you in a while. And so many others. Man, we appreciate you guys. Go to rumble.com, look at us, go to X at Josh Guillory USA, and shout out to our KLFY Plus viewing audience at home, across the country, around the globe, even in the International Space Center. If you wanted to log on, I'm just saying, I don't have a way to connect with them, but I would. All right, so last segment of hour number 1, just now, we talked about my dear party, the grand old party, the Republican Party, and I had to remind myself, oh, we're in charge. Oh, we have the majority, and we even have it in the Senate. And yet we have a Senate president that says the 6-bill package is up to the Democrats. Well, you should stop right there, but it's up to the Democrats and the president. And when did you ever hear Nancy Pelosi, or excuse me, whoever it was at the time, Chuck Schumer in the Senate, or even Pelosi or any of those guys, when did you ever hear them say, oh, it's up to President Obama and the Republicans when they were in charge? Never. So we're going to leave the discussion of my dear party, who we're close to getting it right. Guys, come on. We're close, and we're doing so much good, at least in the executive branch. Like, come on, man. But let's go from our party that seems to have trouble understanding that it is in the majority, which means they have more votes than the other side. Sometimes you just got to explain it. But let's stop talking about that, and let's actually talk about a party that does want to win, that does, even with no platform, even with an absolute, a faceless party who has splintered their value. I don't even know what the Democrat values are anymore, and they don't either. But yet they know one thing. When they got the majority, they use it. Virginia Democrats just took a hit, though. But I want to highlight that they fight, and they use their authority. They use their power. And in their mind, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. In their mind, it's to help people. Great. Different than we would do. Not much different than the Washington Republicans would do. They tend to like that spending stuff, and maybe some Baton Rouge Republicans. But other than that, 4%. I'm using Schumer, see? It's only 4%. Virginia Democrats did take a hit, though, and I think it does matter more than it sounds here. So a state judge in Virginia blocked their effort to fast-track a constitutional amendment that would have let the legislature redraw congressional maps this year. Not after the census. We kind of see that going on. Not after a court order. We pretend that goes on here. Now, right now, and in time for the 2026 elections. I'm grateful the judge put the brakes on it for political reasons. I don't know the judge's legal reasons, or not political reasons, but the political outcome of it. But I want to win. I want to have a shot at having a conservative government. I just want to have a shot. I have 0 shot with a Democrat in. I have a 4% chance with a Republican in. I think that's fair. Maybe higher than 4%. But we have a shot. We have a shot. We're not guaranteed it. I mean, look, we have a hard time. And you know what's really bizarre? We in Louisiana have a hard time understanding that we have a super majority. That means if we did have a conservative legislature, a 2/3 majority, it wouldn't matter what happened. They could do anything they wanted.
Wait, so a supermajority Republican legislature gave the other party a seat?
Yes.
Mind-boggling.
Shocker. You never hear the Democrats doing that. They understand politics. And this is politics. However, You know, through this redistricting thing, I honestly thought that it was every legislature. I really did. I thought every legislature chose the district, and that's not necessary. They do indirectly through their power. They delegate it. But through either, in this case, a constitutional amendment or through statutes, and they create this independent commission, okay, that draws the districts supposedly on numbers and not politics, not demographics, although they do. And it really just, where do you want the politics to play? Do you want it to play in this independent commission, or do you want to play it, or do you want it to play out in an elected body, the legislature? When we have people that truly represent the values of their respective districts and vote accordingly, you would think you would want the legislature. So, in a supermajority Republican state, okay, you would think that the supermajority legislature would do everything it can to legally, ethically, and hopefully morally hold on to every Republican seat that we send to Washington. You would reasonably expect that. That would reasonably and rationally replicate, the vote would replicate the values of the district. But yet we don't get it. And I don't understand that either. And now, legislature, you could change it. But let's get past that. We have all these states fighting for more seats. We want to go backwards. No, please give us more Blanco. Please give us more Huey Long. Please give us more government. Why? None of your you think you're serving your people that way? Or are you so scared that you'll get ramrodded by the governor for doing this? Then say it. Because I wouldn't want to live a day as a former legislator knowing I was on my knees than legislating from my feet, playboy. So I think we need to remember who we represent. And I meant praying, by the way. So let's talk about these Democrats that are fighting. The plan was simple. If another state redraws maps, Virginia Democrats wanted the power to retaliate immediately. They were honest about that. Not through the independent commission voters already approved, though. No, through the legislature itself, being the good Democrats that they are, understanding the environment, understanding that we no longer use censuses as really math. We just use them kind of as a thing. I don't get it either. But the judge said no. And from what I'm seeing, it has nothing to do with ideology. Like I said, most judges get it right. Most judges, even if they get it wrong, are not doing it maliciously. They're doing it the best they can. And you got to understand, judges only rule on what's presented to them. So that kind of makes it difficult, too. And we can all know in the last couple years, or at least the last year, what we've seen of some of the people in the judiciary that wear robes. Yes, it can be very much argued that they stepped legislated from the bench, and was absolutely ruling with ideology. But this judge didn't appear to rule that way, and was, from what I'm reading, remember, very limited state court here, but the ruling was basically because the Democrats didn't follow the rules here, and the rules matter in a court of law. In Virginia, constitutional amendments have to pass the legislature twice with a general election in between, according to this article. I didn't know that either. The court, wow, imagine that. So in Virginia, you'd have to pass maybe we should do this. In Virginia, constitutional amendments have to pass the legislature twice, and then the folks have to vote in between. So it passes the legislature, which is similar to what we do. They pass a resolution, it comes to the folks. All right, so we have that. But then it has to go back. And that would be quite interesting, because at that point, if we had that in Louisiana, we really could ask our legislators, hey, what you debated in session and how you got to that language doesn't match what we had to vote on. So I want you to rethink this. Has anybody gotten to the polls and asked that question? That thing is so convoluted with all these double negatives that I don't know if a yes is a no and a no is a yes and a whew. And I do know that we most certainly in Louisiana use the Constitution as a book of statutes, and we should not. But in Virginia over here, hey, man, the Democrat legislature used the tools that were what they thought was available to them, And the judge said no, but they did it because of the judge said that because of the rules. And one of this is it has to pass a general election vote in between the legislature voting twice. The court ruled that Democrats rushed the first vote, and that was during early voting, and the judge said that voided the process. So, game over. At least for now. I have no doubt that the fine Democrat Virginians are going to regroup and do everything they can to gain a seat in Washington for their party. If only Republicans in the great state of Louisiana would collectively do that. Go ask your legislator. Just ask them, give them grace on the first vote. Yeah, they voted to give Cleo Fields, Democrats, a seat. They were so bullied into that and didn't know what they were doing. They didn't even know where the bathroom was, okay? They were just told that the person that and the people that have always told us they're conservative says this is what we got to do. Give you full grace on that. 2.5 years later, no more grace. You, too, can pass a bill on Capitol Hill. You, too, you can even pass it with a majority and then make the folks veto and fight to not override it. But at least the folks would feel heard. Don't you think you'd feel more heard? Jeez. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. What's up, my Rumble folks? YouTube, X, all the folks, all the places. I'm just saying what up, my peeps, to my TikTok folks. It's a thing, all right? Oh, man. So, look, that was an interesting little first, I think that was the first segment. Yeah, first segment here. Man, I got to tell you, some of this stuff is just mind-boggling, you know? I mean, it really is. It's just mind-boggling, some of the stuff that we're having to deal with. And, hey, look, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, I'm just talking strategy here. Think about it. I think something we can all really, if I were a Democrat, I'm very much not. If I were a Democrat, though, I would actually be pleased with some leaders like these folks, but look where they're at. They're not in Washington. They're boots on the ground. Now, they're probably influenced by Washington, especially being Virginia right there. But, man, if you think about it, that's kind of... if I was a Democrat, I'd be happy with these guys fighting. You don't have a platform. You just know you hate Trump, but and arguably could well, I'm not going to say they hate America, but they hate America on its path right now. And that's unfortunate.
I'd say they hate American values.
They do.
They may love America, but they hate the values that built it.
Yeah, because they're the party of slavery.
Yep.
Like when you are a party that is born in evil, what do you expect? That party should have been disbanded after the Civil War. And if they had any decency, they would have.
Absolutely. And instead, now the party that wants to cancel everybody refuses to stare in the face the most obvious, most heinous part of our history.
Man, the Democrat Party from its inception has always been to restrict rights. Obviously, the biggest example is slavery, you know, indentured servitude type stuff, too. That wasn't much different. Women. Who fought against women having the right to vote? Democrats. I mean, we can keep going on and on and on. I think where the Republican Party, where we messed up, was when we allowed those Dixiecrats to come on in. We should have kept them as their own party and hashed that out because what happened from that? Yeah, you could argue we ended up getting Reagan from it because of the collective vote, but they didn't really necessarily believe in what Reagan wanted. I'm just being honest with you, okay? They're still big government Democrats. They just wanted the government to do what they wanted. But we let them in our party, and we suffered a little bit. We took a hit with the black vote. We took a hit with the Hispanic vote needlessly. When a lot of do what Reagan said. Okay, we disagree 80%. We're not 80% enemies. We're 20% friends. Like, that's how you focus. That's how you get conservative policies across the finish line. And by the way, that's how you get liberal policies across the finish line too. But they just know how to get more votes. Whether through legislatures or dead people, it don't matter. It's hard, Quentin. It's hard to get 120% voter turnout. All right, guys, we'll be right back.
Immediately think of my home.
Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We are broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. We are also broadcasting live on Rumble. Let me see you over there at rumble.com. Look up the Josh Guillory Show and you can check us out. And shout out to my TikTok viewers, man. We appreciate you guys too very much. Okay, so my wonderful Republican Party, who I still think, man, we're on the cusp. We got a president that wants to do some things. I want the legislative body to want to do things. Now's not the time to talk. We're running out of time. The midterm is not guaranteed, and do not think for 1 second that these Republicans in Washington and the legislative branch collectively are going to be so willing to work with Trump in the second half when he's a lame duck. So the president understands the urgency. I don't think he ever thought that he would actually be talking with the Democrats when the Republicans have the power, but hey, he's going to get something done. Like, this dude will win. He's either going to win with the Republican Party, he's going to win with the Democrat Party, but he will win. He will get something. So I just don't understand how a Senate majority leader, we're not talking about the Senate minority leader. We're talking about the Senate majority leader who has a majority, who can't lead the majority to vote with the majority on the thing. Whatever the thing is, this case, a 6-bill funding package. You just never hear that. Nancy Pelosi made it known budget reconciliation is a process. How do you think we have Obamacare? It was that. So, Democrats say Republicans are court shopping here, though. Republicans say, no, the law is the law. This is in Virginia. And, there are some things to pay attention to. One, the voters already settled this matter. Okay? And that's what the judge said. But I wanted to highlight this because it really is a tale of two parties. In Virginia, you have the Democrat majority acting like a majority, actually passing laws that furthers their agenda. And their agenda probably replicates most of their district's values. Just kind of like what, and here's another case study in Louisiana. When I know, because I have spoken personally to many legislators that voted to give the Democrats a seat, that say that they would recant, that they would vote the opposite now that they know what they know. So I say we got to give them much grace, much grace at first. They only had what they had, but now we have more information. Let's go to the census, shall we? Since we're talking about counting folks. I mean, this is interesting. Demographics apparently are a thing now. It's like what we talk about. Independent commission, though, on these states, I don't know. I mean, the independent commission, do y'all think that would have given Louisiana an extra Democrat seat? Because there's an argument it could have, because what John Bel Edwards was pushing is, well, a third of the state is black, so a third of the state's minority, so a third of the state should be represented. You see what I'm saying? So there's an argument there, and I think an independent commission would go for that. Now we're seeing recent jurisprudence kind of start backing off of all that affirmative action stuff. And let me say it differently. The courts are starting to say that racism is wrong again, Okay, so we're back in that trend. That's good. That's healthy for our country. We're growing. Okay, that's good. So we don't know. We don't know where that's going to go. But I think it is very reasonable for Republican voters in a supermajority Republican state who sends a supermajority to both chambers of the legislative branch. I really do think it is reasonable for us to expect, not falsely, but expect you to call a special session right now, put it on the ballot, and confirm that we have 5 regular districts and 1 racist district, not 2, okay? We're going to compromise with 1 racist district. If it's drawn based on race and you're discriminating based on race, don't get mad at me. I'm not Webster. I get confused when I read that thing, man. You try it. I'm not talking about the definition. Be a nerd like me, and you read it all. Read its origin. Read all of it. Read the footnotes. You can have a story within the footnotes. All right, man, we're going to move on. So let's go to the census thing here, okay? So the Census Bureau, kind of on the same topic, but it is different because what the census update is showing apparently is a redder America. You saw that, huh? So the Census Bureau dropped its annual population update. Ooh. And somehow buried, like, way inside all the spreadsheets and charts is a story that we tripped on this story because it's not even out there in mainstream. So like we're talking to you. You may be one of the only people knowing this. So, I mean, it really, huh? So the Census Bureau drops this thing, okay? It's its annual update. And way in there, you got charts, you got spreadsheets. And really, the information we're looking at should have every political consultant in America right now quietly panicking. America is getting redder. And it's not rhetorically this time. It's not culturally either. Like physically, okay? Where people's feet are. People are moving. And where they are moving tells us a lot. Let's start with the big picture. Y'all know how I do. National population growth. Look at this. National population growth got cut in half in 1 year. From about 1% down to 0.5%. Now, this is not because Americans suddenly stopped having kids. I do quite a share of family law. I can tell you the kids are still coming. Have no fear. Have no fear. And it's not because people stopped moving around. It's because the border surge collapsed. And that is another sign that you can, at least when we're trying to seek the truth, this is a good check and balance to see if what the White House is putting out is actually legit. So this does support the information out there. So us truth seekers, this is important. I like that. Good, bad, or ugly, tell us. We can handle it. But the border surge has collapsed. Net international migration fell off a cliff from 2.7 million net. Okay, so that's 2.7 million net arrivals in 2024. This ain't old data. Down to about 1.3 million in 2025. And it's still dropping. So the foreign-born population actually shrank. And if you look at the history of this, which I had no interest in this until I read this, and I really had interest in it because no one else is talking about it. And when we saw this, really, how is this not everywhere? But the foreign-born population shrinking is a thing. Because if you look at the data for, I don't know how many decades went back, man, that's almost never happens year over year. And it dropped about 1.4 million in just 6 months. The biggest reason, hands down, the biggest reason was the collapse of the Biden-era humanitarian migrant surge. Love Trump's crackdown or hate it, say he's a bad, mean, orange man or not, but this effect, it really is undeniable. Enforcement did change behavior, whether you want to admit it or not, and it changed it fast. But look, let's take a little break here. I'm going to go over some of the states, and I bet you guys can rattle off 3 of these easily. There's probably 2 or 3 states in your mind where this is happening the most, and just know you're right. We'll be right back, guys. Stick around. Thank you. Let's see. This guy's trying to say something. Let's see here. Human says, announcer this. Stop complaining to me, all of you. Don't run to me. Okay.
So noted.
Yep. So noted. All right. Sticking on this? Yeah, we're going to go to the states. Okay, so I'm just going to, Louisiana, we increased 3,300. That's good, I guess. You know, Trump needs the whole Canada thing. We really wouldn't want them to be a state. And first of all, they'd have to be at least 4 more states, not the whole country.
Yeah, it would be.
And also, why would we give Democrats a seat? We would be giving them so many electoral college votes.
That was kind of my thing on Greenland.
Yeah, what are you doing over there? Although it's only 44,000, you can convince a majority.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's only 44,000.
That's only 1 seat. That's another. What is it? Rhode Island.
Yeah, you could convince them. If it's only 44,000, you could convince them. Actually, I don't even think they can be a state. Didn't the Constitution say like 60,000 or something?
I don't know.
I think there is a population limit or minimum in the Constitution. I could be wrong. He's going to look it up. Q's looking it up. What's up, my Rumble folks? Y'all doing all right? Remember on commercial, I'm away from the microphone, so we'll be a little lower. Poor Renee's been waiting. You know what's interesting? New states may be admitted by the Congress into this union, but no new states shall be formed or erected within the jurisdiction of any other state. What about West Virginia?
Oh, they were treating it a little different.
Yeah. Civil War merged. I'm surprised that like people like Missouri didn't do it. Maybe they didn't have enough population. Does it have anything in there?
Nope.
Let's see here. I don't know. Keep going down. Try your other resource.
It says it.
Yep, 60,000. I told you. There shall be formed. So let's see if that's still there. The 1784 ordinance was superseded 3 years later by the Northwest Ordinance of 1787, enacted by the Confederation Congress. Yeah. It created Northwest Territory, blah, 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 of several new states from within its bounds. There shall be formed in the said territory, not less than 3 nor more than 5 states. So this was for that territory. They had to have at least 60. I knew I saw that somewhere, but I'm pretty sure that was for most of them.
Probably so. That was under the Articles of Confederation.
Weak system.
Sovereign citizens still love it. They still think they live in it.
Oh my gosh, because the Constitution's not Sovereign citizen. So, whose roads does the sovereign citizen drive on? What's their theory?
Well, they're not driving; they're traveling.
Okay.
But yeah, they're driving on publicly funded roads.
Right. So what? How do they explain that?
I don't think they do. Well, they try to.
Because if you think about it, the Constitution really does make our citizens kind of sovereign.
Yeah.
There are so many things that have to happen before the government infringes on it. Now, they abuse it all the time.
True.
And allowing national organizations to exist when there's no constitutional authority doesn't help. All right, we're going back. Oh, is KFI going to get mad at you?
Howard TV.
Yeah, but they still... All right. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. And also on rumble.com. Hey, guys, go visit my friends at CSafe, csafe.com. You can check them out, man. You want strength when it matters, you want CSafe. You want custom when it matters, you want CSafe. And when failure, it really just can't be an option. Call my friends at CSafe. They deliver, man, CSafe FRP products. They're engineered to resist a whole bunch of stuff. Corrosion, reduce maintenance. They will outlast a lot of other products, man. Go check them out. From offshore platforms to wastewater treatment plants, everywhere in between. Go visit my friends over there at CSafe, SEA, just like the ocean. Their products are American-made, yes, manufactured right here in Acadiana by American workers. Go visit my friends. CSafe, SEA, just like the ocean. Now let's keep on with our discussion, okay, about this, what Moon says, out-migration. Let's look at the states where this is happening, okay? And the immigration, the international bursts, all the things that we just rattled off, that's not a coincidence. That's due to the laws being enforced, the democratically created bipartisan laws. If you don't like them, change them. I can't say that too long because Thune will send the Democrats to go negotiate and they'll walk out with a reform bill or something. I am not one. I really am not. I am not one to just say, change the guy, kick him out. Because sometimes we don't know everything, and sometimes stability, can be worth keeping. But at this point, with this much on the line and this close to maybe not having the majority, Thune may need to go. And you may need a Republican that actually knows they have a majority and is willing to do something. What this tells me is it's just status quo. They are trying to count. They are counting down the days that Trump is out of office. These Senate Republican elites, they want him out more than any left-wing professional agitator. Well, the professional guys, they don't care. Just pay me. But the regular protester out there that thinks that what they're doing is right. Anywho, let's go to the phone lines. Renee has been so patient. Thanks, Renee. I appreciate you, bud. What you got today, my man?
Well, see, the immigration scheme, I've seen something on YouTube, is more intricate than you might think, or some people might think. That Mexico has like 50 consulates, and they're involved in our politics and maybe some protesting. I mean, this is like a well-oiled machine from different players. We're wanting different interests in our America.
Well said.
I mean, we could see, I need my own show to explain it, but we could see that in different parts of the world. This works, and people don't appreciate that. We are under attack by all kind of means necessary, by all kind of enemies around us. And the stupid Republicans and Democrats, the Democrats are communists. The stupid Republicans don't have the moral fortitude to fight this extreme attack on us.
Bingo, Renee, bingo. Well worth the wait. Good call, man. Good call. I appreciate that. Hey, that was a great summary at the end, okay? That you're right. There's some push towards, Renee, I don't even know if they know what they want. It seems to be, there's a lot of communistic, like the people that seem to be the influencers, surely at minimum embrace socialism, but I'm just saying, sometimes calling communism, socialism doesn't make it less communism. And there's kind of a difference. It's still centralized government. It's still government telling us what to do in every aspect of our life. But there's a kind of a tiny bit of a difference. One's voting on, and one's just takes it over. You can actually probably vote them in, too. Anyway, let's go to Mr. Bobby. He understands. What's up, Mr. Bobby?
Well, Renee is right, but they are communists. The biggest communist you got is Sanders there. He's the one pushing all that shit. He even admits I'm a socialist. I'm a communist.
You can't say the S word. Can't say the S word, boy. He had to press the button. All right. But I heard what you're saying. Outside of that. All right, let's go to the caller. Let's see here. Nope. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Now, let's look at the states that we're talking about. So, out-migration kind of is what we're referring to. We're looking at a consequence of border security being enforced. But let's look at the states. Let's look at the states that, let's look at the numbers. Texas added almost 400,000 people in 1 year. That is double Florida. But Florida's still 200,000. Pretty good. California, well, they lost people again. New York lost people again. Illinois lost people again. Puerto Rico lost even more. It was on there. South Carolina, Idaho, Utah, Texas, Florida, same list as always. Red governed states keep growing. Blue governed states keep shrinking collectively. Matter of fact, only 5. Only 5 of the states growing faster than the national average have Democratic governors. Let that sit in. And even some of those are held in check by Republican legislatures or courts. Minnesota had a better year than usual after Republicans regained partial control and slowed down some of Tim Walz's agenda. That's not coincidence. I would love to see those numbers in 2026. I mean, this stuff, man, obviously this was before all the epicenter of illegal activity, and I'm being nice. All the protests. Whew. That is something. We will learn something from that. All around. We'll learn, because it was a new situation. How many times in our life have we had to do an ICE surge in our own backyard? Because and why? Why is the reason? Because we had a national policy of just letting everybody in, no vetting or anything. Don't follow the science. If you have COVID, it's cool if you're illegal. But if you're not here illegally, you got to wear 5 masks. Vaccinate your children 20 times and don't go pray. So that's the double standard there. But when you have that from the top, and then you have mayors and governors, and in this case, Minnesota, Mayor Frey, Governor Walz, who openly defy federal law and openly defy or impede on federal law enforcement for sure. And they do everything they can to demonize the law enforcement officers and do everything they can to elevate the people that are absolutely causing destruction to their communities, both short-term and long-term. How is it that you don't see that right in front of your face? You cannot be gaining that many votes from your rhetoric to overcompensate the chaos that your rhetoric creates. And we won't have time to go over it again, but right after Trump and Walz have a conversation, they make basically an agreement. Hey, we're going to let the other guy, ICE, Bovino, we're going to move him. We're going to bring Holman in. Holman's going to be like the central command as far as like communication, because we understand that the message is important here. Everybody seemed to be on board with that, even Walz. I saw yesterday he's out there blasting Trump, blasting Holman, elevating the temperature. The same talking points these people do not learn. They don't care. They think we're stupid, and they don't care. And somehow, deep down inside, I'm starting to feel that maybe they have more allies than we think. And maybe it really is only Trump and a few people that are interested in calling this out. We don't know. Because in some aspects, you're saying, like, Governor, you have way more problems than politics. And then on the other side, you're like, this dude says he kind of acts like he cares, but then turns around and like totally flips the bird. And a part of me saying he's going to get away with all of it with no accountability. I'm not saying the guy is a criminal because I don't know the crime that people are accusing him of. But Lord knows gross incompetence can be labeled on him. And if we walk away with that, with everybody understanding that, then I think that's kind of a win. It may not be justice, but it is a win. Doggone, I wish I had more time. Hey, guys, I love this. These 2 hours flew by. Oh, my goodness. Thank you guys to everybody, man. I appreciate you. Stick around for Joe Cunningham right after this on KPEL. It's going to be great. May God bless you. Be careful out there and be kind.